everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Hey, guys.
How are you, my friend?
Quite well.
Quite well,
Oh,
after
yes.
what you had to put up with getting over here? Christ.
A mere road closure.
What are they doing?
They're repaving your
Like,
road again. Putting
no.
the final touches, I think.
I don't think so, dude. When I drove out this morning,
They're
I
feathering it all real nicely.
Are they?
I don't know.
When I left this morning, because I had some errands to run, there was just a fucking 2 foot by 2 foot square hole, whatever, and a guy up to his chest in it.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm like,
No.
you guys just paved that. Why did you cut
It was more vast than that. Wouldn't you say, Yeezus?
Sure, I guess.
Looked more complicated.
I mean, to me, they already had this fucking thing closed down. They still needed to put the other inch or whatever on.
Yeah.
And I don't know why you don't plan it where they could do it a month ago. But
Or in the
no,
middle
they
of the
waited.
Or in the middle of the night. There you
I
go.
know.
Bring in a light truck. One of those trucks with lights.
Yeah, exactly. No one would, and leave, I don't know, half a lane open
Yeah.
while you're doing it. I mean, is that impossible?
never,
I'm
ever-
on a dead end street here. There's one
no way to get in.
in
Yeah.
without, I don't know, just trucking through people's backyards. I suppose you could do.
Without Franklin Road, you're fucked,
You're
man.
fucked.
I've never seen construction before where I'm sitting here, I'm telling the guy, well, I have to go to this road. He goes, well, I don't think you can. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to. So.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to.
I mean, we just get to that point with them, like, well,
I just kept saying,
boy,
well, I
this is
have
quite
to.
this is quite a dilemma we're in, but I'm going through. So
Well, I kind of tried that my first time around. See, I hit the spot E, got through, and I was fine with taking the detour. Like
Yeah.
I get to the first stop, I'm like, all right, I'll go. I know how to do this. Go around and come around 13 Mile, and I come down 13 Mile, and you're in traffic at that point.
Oh,
You got
yeah.
cars behind you and all this
Sure.
stuff. So you're trying to yell out your passenger window, "Hey, man,
I gotta go.
I gotta
here.
go!" And dude's on the phone. He basically did the equivalent of
you
shushing
off.
me.
When he's doing that, you just go.
You can't. There's barricades.
I think you could get through.
No, you
No,
can't.
not the
You-
ones not the
no.
ones he's talking. They
What
were
if
set
you-
up in a way that you couldn't.
Yeah.
Because
There's all
I thought
sorts of
about doing it.
metal signs and shit with
So
framework.
are you at 13 in Franklin at this point? Yeah. If
And I've got
if
cars
you go-
behind me, and I'm like sort of off to the side, but they're getting pissed because they're having a.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, "Hey, man, hey!"
Are you going towards Telegraph or towards like the other way?
Going the other way.
So if you're coming down that road from Telegraph to Franklin, there is a sub, like the last entrance to the sub. You turn right in there and then left, and it shoots you out onto Franklin Road.
Okay.
And so then you can just turn right, and you're like, well, I'm already on Franklin Road. There's nowhere else I can
Oh,
go.
I thought that was
didn't know that.
I thought that was
Yeah.
a no outlet right there too.
No,
That's good to know.
But you can pop onto Franklin Road, turn right, and my street's the next street.
Yeah.
So then you're past the dickhead at the main spot.
Well, had to use our persuasion skills, didn't we?
I guess.
You
But
used
once-
it on one side, I used it on the other. We ended up getting it.
But see, the guy at the front line guy is used to people going, "Hey, I got to get through, man. My mom's dying over there. I've got a sick grandmother, and so he's used to battling that. He knows how to get you out of the way, anyways. Once you get in the middle,
I was actually
those people are not used to seeing you because the front
Yeah.
line guy is so good at
Yeah.
stopping traffic. So that guy's just like, nah, fuck it, go, and then you're clear.
I must have used my newfound confidence to get at this guy too, because I mean I just kept saying like, well, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And then
did you
eventually
say
he just
work?
said,
Did you say I have to work, or was it
no,
just
I
like I'm
just
going to
kept-
my buddies to play
no, I
PlayStation?
didn't say that, but I'm just like, I have to get in there. And I just kept saying it, and eventually said, well, drive in there and see how long they let you go. I'm like, okay.
Good enough for me.
Right. At that point, I knew I was going to make it. Like, at that point, I wasn't going to turn around. So.
Yeah, they're putting down another inch and a half of asphalt
Well,
today.
yeah,
so
God forbid someone drive through.
it'll
when
all
you're
be
doing that.
perfect. Very skateboardable.
There you go. Hopefully, when I get back from California, it'll be done.
Get on the longboard and go down the hill.
Can't wait. Yeah. I'm leaving tomorrow. We're going to do a show tomorrow, but then I got to hightail it to the airport, and I'm not even close to ready. I'm still doing laundry and got to packs and all that stuff. And
This trip just jump up on you, did it?
yeah, it sort of did. No, that's usually how I do it.
I know.
Just pull the suitcase. I mean, I've got plenty of time. It's just me I'm packing for, so it's not that big. It's not like I got a family to pack for, But, yeah, still working on Niners tickets, and boy, are those looking cheaper and cheaper by the day. Marisa, thank God, heard us. She's like, Mike's got a cousin out there that is a pretty big wig, You want me to call? I'm like, yes, please. I'd rather not have to go there and fucking try to scalp tickets. The goddamn stadium. It's going to be crazy. I don't want to be that guy that's like, All right, we're at the end of the first quarter. How long are you going to hang out with those tickets, pal? They're just
That is
worthless
the
pieces
trick.
of paper.
That can be the trick for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the best. It's not the most ideal way, but it works.
No, it's not. But
I remember one time me doing that, trying to get into a Michigan State game, and it was like the 100th anniversary, which
Of
no,
which?
of the Michigan versus State football game. But we're talking like we're into the first quarter now. Like I think almost done. Like with the first quarter, and this guy was still trying to sell them for like $100, and I'm like, dude,
no.
the
Nope.
game has started, and he goes, "This is the 100th anniversary, man." I'm like,
well, you better get in there.
The game
It
started.
matters at all.
And
What,
then
what
I
are you
just-
talking to me for? You've got a ticket. You should go
right,
in.
Right. So then I walked past him and end up getting a ticket from some drunk student selling his ticket. But
Yeah.
But it was like, yeah, it was one of those situations where I'm like, yeah, so what? It's the 100th anniversary. The game
Yeah.
is started. These tickets are worth nothing if you don't sell them to somebody.
What is the rule of thumb for a scalper, you think? Like, at what point do they go, fuck it, just give them away or throw them away?
I guess it depends for them on what they. I mean, if they
What they
actually
gotta
paid
get
for
out
the
of it, yeah.
tickets, if
Yeah.
they actually bought the tickets or
you gotta,
whatever.
You got just a circle of cheap asses surrounding you. Just
It's not like
biding
you're setting
time.
precedent. Like you're not worried about like, well, gee, if I go this low, then next week that guy's going to want me to
I
go this
know,
low
I
again.
know.
No,
That's
it's,
what I-
it's
Bullshit, you
just
sold them to me for $50 last
game
time.
to game, situation to situations. Whatever he's got into it, can I get that back and a little bit more?
Yeah.
I'll say this: I will never sell my tickets if I have any rare tickets, or I'm like, fuck it, if I could get, sometimes if you have an extra ticket, I just have this mindset of like, if I could just get a fucking enough for a beer and whatever, I'm okay. I don't want to deal with sitting around selling them. But I will not sell it to those guys that are very clearly the professional scalpers.
Yeah.
In fact, not only will I not sell it to them, sometimes what I'll do when I walk in is when you have the one guy going, who's looking for tickets? And then the other
Looking for
guy's
tickets?
like, I
Got any
got
extras?
tickets. I will yell and be like, yo, that guy right there has tickets. That guy over there.
too.
He's got, you guys
just
should,
made a
you're
love
right here,
connection.
guys.
You guys are perfect for
So
each other.
close.
You're right. God, if you could only
you need
connect.
tickets and he's got
I
tickets.
know,
This
if
is
you could only connect.
come on,
awesome.
man. Peanut butter and chocolate right here. Let's go.
I remember a few years ago with the Lions. Remember when they actually had that good year? Like was it called?
Oh,
No, called
1957,
No. The year
58?
Caldwell had it, where if they had beat Green Bay on Sunday night, it was going to be they were going to win the division, and then of course they lose, and then they don't even. I don't
One of
remember
those
what
9
happened.
and 7, 10 and
But
6.
if they beat Green Bay at home and it was Sunday Night Football, they were going to go into they were going to win the division.
Yeah,
I
Packers
think.
go if they win, and we win if we win.
And
Yeah.
so I was trying to get tickets, and it was like, dude, I was into like well into the first quarter, and they were still trying to sell like $100 or something. And finally, it was just like, I just gave up, and I'm like, nope, and I drove home or something. But I'm not gonna pay. I just didn't have that money. Like I had the thought of if I can get this for like somehow $40 or something,
It's
I'll
a
go.
big game of chicken.
Right, and
Yeah.
I lost in the end, I guess.
Well, see,
but-
that's what I'm facing. Another Sunday night football game.
I
You
know.
know, 2 first place teams. It's like, oh God, what do I pay? What do I pay? Faces fucking.
I did have
85 to 170 or something. It's like, oh God.
the other good time. I
Like,
actually
what will you pay, honestly?
Yeah.
I
That's a good
don't
point.
know.
Let's say
I
they're
mean,
just
if I'm
average,
there,
average seats. Nothing to write home
It's always
about.
hard when you're
I mean,
there. Once you get there, then you
once
wanna
you're
go.
there, it's like we flew all the way out here. I mean, $250 a
crowd.
ticket.
I just can't imagine doing that.
I
but
know, but
I couldn't for
But I don't
could-
have to buy kids new clothes or
Yeah.
groceries for a family of 5, like that stuff. So that's how I can kind of justify.
I
it.
could imagine spending it if it was a playoff game for sure.
Well, it's going to be a
but
playoff
it's-
atmosphere.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not the same.
Plus,
And
it's
you've
Sunday night
seen-
football. You know what I mean? Doesn't that add a little
No.
bit? Really?
Not to me anymore.
Oh,
Those
man.
things don't mean anything to me anymore.
I know it doesn't mean anything to Jay, but I thought it would mean something to you. The
special-
nationally televised Monday Night Football or Sunday Night
No,
Football.
because the problem is there's honestly, in my opinion, now there's Monday Night Football and Thursday Night Football and the regular Sunday and
But
Sunday
this is
night.
this is a good streaking opportunity for Mike. Is his point?
Absolutely.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
No, for me personally, like when you think about it, for like the Lions, like I said, I would care. I guess on some, like I told you, I liked it when they had the Monday Night Football game against the Packers because it didn't affect the show and I got to just watch it. It was more convenient for me time wise. But when you think about the deal, the big specialness of a night game, why does it matter? Like it's just not that special to me,
Yeah.
really. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
It
we'll
has
see.
nothing to do with my cynical nature of the sport. It just has to do with the fact that I think, like I said, there's Thursday night football and Sunday night and Monday night, and in reality, once you get to December, don't they start having Saturday night football sometimes?
Yeah.
with the playoffs or something. So
during
I just
the day.
my
Maybe at night too.
my
Whatever.
so my point is, I think they've just watered it down so much that I don't think it's
Yeah,
that big of a
Thursday
deal.
night, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, it's gotten a little out of control. But
It's not like that feeling. Like when I was a kid, even when I was a kid, I still remember like Monday night. Like even if it weren't the Lions,
you are
it was
looking live at
Yeah.
Soldier Field. in
right
Chicago.
on Monday
Yeah, it
night,
was
and there'd be
special.
the song
Yeah.
and
Dun,
everything.
dun, dun, dun,
Right.
dun, 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 dun.
God,
Seemed like a bigger game. Like there was
Yeah.
more on the line.
was the game we went to when you and me went to the Lions opener where they got destroyed? Wasn't that
The
Monday Night
Jets?
Football?
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
that
yeah.
means I've been to 2 Monday Night Football games in my life, and both the times the Lions just got
Smoked.
smoked. I left early.
Was
to
that the
only
Rams
The
game?
Rams game.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
I remember that one.
Remember the hype for that?
Oh my god.
That was when the
It's like
game when,
52 to nothing, wasn't it?
I
It was just
remember
insane.
being at cross country practice. I was still in high school. I remember being at cross country practice that day, and like even though I knew they weren't good, I knew it was the
Was that
Rams.
kind of the birth of the
Maybe.
greatest show on turf Rams? Was that then?
I don't remember.
No, it was before that. It was before.
No, I think they were
That's-
already the. I think
that's
they had
when,
won the Super Bowl the year before.
Yeah, I remember the hype because the Lions hadn't been on Monday Night Football in a while, and it was
I
like,
know.
because they have to give you one nationally televised game a year, and so we always had Thanksgiving. So it was like, oh man, we stinks. They're never going to give us Monday Night Football, and that was such a big deal and such a
God.
bummer. I remember being at Lions practice that like Friday or whatever, Saturday before the game. It was probably Friday, and that's when I saw Madden and Summerall
Oh, yeah,
sitting there, and
yeah,
I sat
swearing
next to him
like a
on the bench,
motherfucker.
and he's just, these cunt cocksucker motherfucker. I'm like, how do you talk like that, John Madden, and then go in the booth and not? You know, it was because it was so vicious.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was funny.
Oh,
man.
God.
What an embarrassment!
Wow.
It's just like,
I know.
how
And-
embarrassing. Our team stinks.
And back then, like where I parked, like we never, even though I went to the Silverdome a lot, we never had actual parking. So we always parked in like the Phoenix Center. Took those buses in.
Yeah.
So like when you're
Shit.
when
It's
you're
a big
leaving,
chore.
you're
Yeah.
crossing over that railroad track. Now you're sitting on the bus, and I usually had my face painted. And it's just like,
What a sight you must have been for the locals in Pontiac.
I distinctly remember that game too because I was like stuck in traffic. I was trying to haul
Oh,
ass
God,
across
yeah,
town
yeah,
to get there and
yeah.
stuff. And
Were you
get
going to
there.
that game, or-
I did. I went to that game.
Really
Did you leave early? I would assume.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It was just so ugly.
ugly? Well, the Jets one we went to, was that last year? Monday Night
Yeah,
Football?
where they scored the touchdown
Yeah, it
on the
was like
first play,
play of the
pick six
game,
or whatever.
pick six, and we're like, yeah, Super Bowl. And then it was like just a rout afterwards. Anyway,
35-0. Sorry.
35.
I
Yeah,
remember
that's good enough. Sound
52,
enough.
53, but 35.
That actually doesn't even sound that.
It was
in a
only
way.
21-0 at half.
I think we left in the third quarter. I don't remember
Yeah.
when exactly.
Yeah, when they
but-
put 14 more on. No,
Yeah.
no, they didn't put 14 more on until the fourth.
Wow, well, we definitely
Really?
left.
They
I
won
think.
going away, but it was, it was there. A few plays here and
Hey,
there, a couple bounces,
you know what?
onside kick.
You
Who was
can't
the
say it
quarterback
wasn't.
of that team?
I think it was Ty Detmer.
You couldn't say that wasn't a competitive third quarter, Jay.
That's true.
You know what I mean? At least 1/4 of that game was not that bad.
Came out after halftime and really shut him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Ty Detmer.
Oh God.
Was our quarterback?
Dre Bly for St. Louis had an interception. Yeah, Marshall Falk was on that team.
Yeah.
Kurt Warner, obviously.
Kurt Warner. Okay, so this was kind of
Akeem.
Akeem. Is Bruce there yet?
I don't know. I
Isaac
don't see
Bruce or
him
whatever.
listing
So
him.
this is the birth of the greatest show on turf.
I don't know if it was the birth of that, but
Well, I
it was
think they were
probably
as good.
in
I mean,
that.
Those
right?
are the key. When you're talking about Marshall Falk and
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't know if that's like what spur. I'm not comfortable saying that this game like kicked off, birthed the greatest show on
no,
turf.
no, I meant the season. That era. So it was either
Yeah.
like they,
was definitely that
blew
era.
up that
I
year.
thought
or
they
next
were
year.
the Super Bowl champions that year, like coming off of the Super Bowl championship year. But
Oh,
maybe
maybe.
I'm wrong.
Well, then they definitely would have been the greatest show on turf, and they proved it again that night. Well, that didn't take long. Don Cherry is back, and we called that, didn't we? Didn't we say he'd do a podcast or get another show or something?
I mean, why not?
Yeah, Don Cherry's Grapevine, back once again in podcast form. Why? Why? You're 85. You've made the money.
Because he's outspoken. People like
Yeah.
his shtick.
Coach's Corner, of
Why
course,
not?
will be no more, as Ron McClain announced on
Depends on how-
Saturday. Fired by Sportsnet, Cherry was, for his "you people who come here" comment.
CUM or
No, I don't
That
think
would have been
so.
okay. What if he had argued that?
Yeah.
What if that had been his
You
argument?
people who come here, and he was talking about a spot on the lawn where they all come.
Yeah, he was talking about
Yeah, it was
coming.
like, that's what I really meant. And they're like, oh, shit.
it's an
Well,
angle.
that's,
I'm just saying it's an angle.
it's still probably enough to get you fired, though.
Yeah.
If he's talking about immigrants coming in weird places in Canada. So Cherry wanted his opportunity to properly explain. Now he's going to get that chance. You read it right, Don Cherry, and his no-holds-barred views are coming
No
back on the
holds
air.
barred
Hold on.
on the air.
the Toronto Sun first learned, you won't have to wait long either. It's going to drop Tuesday morning. It'll be available on Spotify and wherever fine podcasts are found and other streaming services. Every Monday during the hockey season, and yes, the very first one will address Cherry's firing from Sportsnet. That'll probably get a nice boost
Yeah.
for the show.
Better talk about that first thing.
That's not all we talked about. I'm like, well, I don't care about the rest. Just give me the lowdown on the other stuff.
You know, if he's only doing it once a week and it's during hockey season, I don't know. When you say, like, why not just go away? I mean, I get it. Trust me. I mean, at his age and with the money. But if it's only once a week and it's during hockey season, that's
Seems
not,
to be a guy with a lot to say, you
not
know?
that big
Yeah.
of a deal.
Well, I'm interested in hearing about the dust up and Ron McClain and you people and all
Right.
that stuff. And it's like, we're talking hockey, of course. It's going to be terrific. And this one, I'm talking about the Rocket, Maurice Richard. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no. Can you tell me when you're talking about that so I don't have to listen to that part of it? I just want to hear the beginning stuff.
30.
30. God, I did that. I started to
bless the
listen
30.
to you were talking about what's his name,
Mark
Maron.
Maron.
Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Matt Hour.
Yeah, I had to, I knew I was going to be on the road.
You
for a
take
little
your
bit today.
finger and you zip up to about 8.5, and then you just start going 30, still talking to himself, 30,
Yeah.
30. Okay. And then you hear that little intro, him, riffing on the guitar for a second.
I usually wait for a voice that's not Maron's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I did not do that today. I just did 30. It's like 14 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like 14 minutes of filler before he gets to Rachel Maddow.
Rogan does 5.5 full minutes of just
8.
reads.
Yeah, I've seen him do
reads.
8 minutes
The
of
beginning
reads.
and end. People pay for that.
Yes. Does anyone listen to that? Is anybody sitting through those?
Can't imagine.
I think he owns most of those. I think most of those are his products, though. So it's like, yeah, whatever. You'd think he'd be smart enough to I get it. You don't want to interrupt your program with going to a break and stuff like that. It's not ideal. So he wants to have that uninterrupted hour and a half, 2 hours or whatever. But it's like, bro, you're not doing justice to anybody when you're doing 8.5 minutes of fucking live reads in the
if
front.
he's getting away with it, more power to him. I just can't believe
Yeah.
people don't object to that and go, dude, nobody listens to this. There's no
Yeah.
way in fuck.
Yeah. You don't have to. I mean, who would sit in your car listening to the radio when you had a 30 button? Nobody.
Right.
No, nobody.
Our 9-minute stop sets at Riff. Fuck that. You just.
Right. But did you get some? Did you end up getting the Matt Hour at all, though?
I did.
How was it that you heard?
It was not as.
Did it just start off?
Well, I think I issued a challenge to you guys. Let's see who can get furthest into the Maddow thing before it's just like,
I'll
all right,
listen to
I
it
gotta
today.
get out of here. There's Trump mentions in the beginning or whatever, talking about this and that, but it's really not. He kind of, so where'd you grow up?
Okay,
how
so
he
he
does
does
all
treat
the
it
time.
more
Yeah.
normally a little bit still.
Yeah,
What's your mom and dad? You got any brothers and sisters?
She's got a gay brother. She's like, she's like, yeah, my brother lives in San Francisco, and I'm like, then he's like, any kids? She's like, no,
Sure.
no kids. And I'm just like, huh. San Francisco, no
That's
kids.
really astounding.
No, I'm like, I don't judge because I'm older. I don't have kids, never married, and I don't like dicks and balls. You know what I mean? I have no desire to lick on a dong, but I can't help but look at it. Well, maybe. She's like, yeah, I came out when I just got to college, and then my brother came out. They had 2 kids, both gay. She's like,
Well, that's all right.
so Marin's like, so how'd that go over the family? She's like, not ideal. So she's finally, I guess the parents are fairly cool with it now, and she's getting a relationship with her brother. So it wasn't all just like Trump, evil, ruin the world,
Gotcha.
dying. So far, I imagine that part's coming.
I would
Saving
imagine
the best
that.
for last. So far, I'm probably 15 minutes into it, and it's been tolerable.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. I'd be interested to see how far you guys can get. So anyway, back to Don Cherry. He will not. Ron McClain will not be on the show in the foxhole with him, of course. So who will be? Turns out Grapes has a new co-host, perhaps hosts, plural. My son Tim is going to be doing it with me. My grandson Dell.
All right.
All right, getting the family going involved. All right. They did great. I think people are really going to enjoy this one. Tim Cherry tells me the plan is to tape and post it every Monday. That way we cover whatever happened in the weekend in hockey. It'll be an audio broadcast to start, but Tim's not ruling out video. They might be able to do video soon enough. New product will feature Don talking about the NHL and hockey and whatever he wants without censorship. Mostly the plan is to talk hockey. We won't just have 7 minutes to get it all out either. First podcast is about a half hour long. Like I said, it drops on Tuesday.
I predict his fans will love that.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Don Cherry Uncensored.
Yes. I imagine he got home when Sportsnet said, you're fired. you know, and he was like, oh, well, that stinks. And then he went home. How long was it before Tim and Dell were in his fucking
Right.
ear, you know, just dying to launch this podcast? You know, there's a platform there.
Right.
We can set it all up and get it going.
Say whatever you want,
Yep.
Uncle Don.
So that'll be fun. I'll check it out. I'll check out the first one, see how it is. You know, you know, I was more into his style when I was younger, but I'll check it out.
Hey everybody, 5th annual toy drive. Don't forget about it. Hamlin Pub is doing this. Please donate a new unwrapped toy to help a child this Christmas. Saturday, December 7th, 1 to 6 p.m. And you can go to their toy donation boxes at the Hamlin Pub's Shelby Township locations, Chesterfield and Richmond as well. And don't forget, if you're there, you can get free pizza and salad if you bring a toy. But don't bring a shitty toy. You got to bring something.
No, don't embarrass us.
Not Fishman, not
Warman.
Warman.
No, bring G.I. Joe. Don't bring just
Something
a generic
legit.
Warman. Yeah. And that's December 7th.
December 7th, 1 to 6.
Very good. Speaking of comebacks, Don Cherry's not the only one with a comeback. And I'm on the fence with this one, Jay. I got to be honest with you. They're announcing a tour coming in 2020. Motley Crue,
What about those
Def
contracts,
Leppard,
Mike?
and Poison. Doing a U.S. stadium tour. Yeah. Now, we all know Motley Crue made a big to-do
It's our last time ever.
ever.
Last
Never happen
one.
again. In fact, we're signing contracts that forbid us, the four of us, from ever taking a stage together again. I think they could record in the studio.
What did that last? A year and a half? And here they
It
are.
was 2014, I believe.
Okay.
And
5 years later, back
yeah,
on the road.
14, 15 was the final tour.
Wow, it feels like later than that. I feel like we're watching videos of them doing their crazy shit.
I think they extended it because it
Okay.
was such a hit. And so they wrapped it up in Los Angeles, December 31st, New Year's Eve, 2015.
And what was
going into
Tommy Lee's
16.
final crazy drum kit trick?
I think it broke the final night, and they didn't really get to see it
Wasn't it like on a roller coaster or some
Yeah.
shit? Yeah.
going out over the crowd. You know, it sucks because I saw that final tour, but it was in the summer, and they came through Pine Knob. Couldn't do his roller coaster at
Yeah.
Pines Knob.
Be tough to do.
Yeah, you need a stadium to do that. So he had the same show that I saw the time before, and I was like, well, that stinks.
Yeah.
So the
But-
question is, would you go? Is that what's being
I
posed?
have to. I don't have a choice, Jay. It's
Def
Motley
Leppard,
Crue.
Poison. I guess it'd be fun to see if there's enough relevant members of Def Leppard and Poison left.
If Motley Crue comes through town, how do I not go?
Yeah.
Those are my guys. You know what I mean?
My guys.
Those are my guys. I got to go check out my guys. They played 158 shows on their last tour, wrapping up, like I said, at the Forum in L.A., December 31st. The band claimed to sign a cessation of touring agreement, which they said was a binding document to prohibit them from ever playing again.
With
after
who, by
touring.
the way? A binding document with who?
I know.
They had lawyers
Binds
draw it up. I don't
themselves.
know.
The fans?
Nikki Sixx said legally we can't play again.
Oh.
Said that to Rolling Stone.
Okay.
What was going to happen if they did? Were
That's
people
what I'm
going to
saying.
sue them?
Well, we're finding out right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
The only loophole is if all four band members agreed to do it, we could override our own contract.
yeah.
Well, so that
Well,
means
that's the
you don't
thing
have
is-
a contract at all.
They definitely didn't want Vince Neil going out and doing his solo thing again, right?
Vince was doing that. though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what I mean. Like that was the agreement. Like, look, let's fucking shut it down, man.
Well,
If we're gonna do it, we're all gonna do it together.
yeah, but then Vince immediately went on tour and did all.
Oh,
the
he
Motley-
did?
Oh, sure.
Since 50.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
didn't know
Vince
that.
can't wait to get on a fucking on a boat somewhere and have a fucking party. You know, Vince Neil. Cruise.
Gotcha.
Party. Oh yeah. So Nikki said, we could override that contract. That'll never happen.
Never,
Never.
ever.
you better show up to these shows because it's it.
There are people in this band who will refuse to ever do it again, and you're talking to one of them. There is no amount of money that would ever make me do it again because I have such pride in how we're ending it. If anybody ever, and I don't believe anybody ever would call any other band members and say, hey, it's been 10 years, let's just do 10 shows, $1 million a pop. It could never happen unless all four band members agreed. And if we did agree, the way we've set it up, including this conversation right now, we'd have so much egg on our face. We have so much pride that alone would stop it. Don't you love when quotes come back and it's like, well, wait, hold on, Mr. Six. Remember when you said this?
Yeah.
You do have a lot of eggs on your face. So, I love, I thought Motley Crue went out too soon, personally, and it was like, really? You're going to wrap it up now? Like, look at Aerosmith, and they can still draw a crowd. They can still do stadium tours. It wasn't like they were playing to half-empty houses and stuff, and it's like, well, time to hang it up. There's a few of those bands that can go
Properly
out there.
spaced out, yeah.
The problem here is the movie The Dirt came out and was.
You guys willing to say that movie
huge hit.
sucked?
I never
yet?
watched it in the end.
It was a 6 out of 10.
An SIXX 6.
6. Yeah, it was SIXX.
Yeah, you give it a 6.
Yeah, Meltdown and I had a long conversation about it, and because we're both Motley fans, and he was like, yeah, I don't know, man, it was all right, and I was like, yeah, I was high off it still, like, oh man, it was cool, and then he's like, honestly, like a 6, and I was like, yeah,
If you're being honest,
probably right. It's
yeah, I didn't
probably
want
a
to dog
6.
it too hard because I know you guys
No,
like
I
them,
don't
but
care.
yeah, I didn't think it was very good.
Really.
Yeah, just poorly done. I
Yeah.
was surprised at how just like, wow, this is fucking cheesy, man.
Well, they bounced around in a weird way and left so much. It's like you can't do an hour and a half on the Motley Crue story. It's 30 years in the making. You know what I mean? Like you could have done a 6-part, a
Like,
6-hour
if you're gonna do it,
docu-series on
if you're gonna do it on Netflix, why
Yeah.
not make it a mini series?
Go get Ken Burns.
Right, exactly.
The history of Motley Crue. He's done the Civil War, country music, Vietnam War,
Motley Crue.
and now Motley Crue.
Umlauts and all.
No, but do like a 6. It doesn't have to be a documentary, but like just do why not do like a 10-episode thing, and each episode be an hour long?
That
or
would be
something?
sweet
Right.
Yeah.
if it were a well done documentary. But
Right.
it was like this drama with bad actors in some of those roles, like really bad actors.
Yeah, I thought Machine Gun Kelly was good as Tommy. Like he didn't look like he could play drums. None of the people really ever look like they can play an instrument. These actors when they try, but he had Tommy's mannerisms down really well. Tommy's walk the way he does. And
They had some just weird aspects to it where they'd like freeze frame and then they'd like talk to the camera.
I know, breaking the
Like,
fourth
this is
wall.
where it got crazy. Like, oh,
Okay,
no.
this didn't really happen.
But
This guy should be mentioned as he was a big part of it, but he's not in the
Yeah.
movie, so we'll continue and pick it up here. This is basically how the story went. And
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, but the soundtrack was kind of cool, and it was like, yeah, they're doing that one. I like that one. Come on, and yeah, that's the one. Merry go round and round. And so I was singing along, but I know so much about that band, much detail that the fucking amount of books and like crazy in like behind the scenes shit I have in this house would you'd be like, dude, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing
you
amount
have
of shit.
at least one, maybe two Nikki Sixx basses. I mean, that's how big a fan you are.
Dude, I have like Motley Crue encyclopedias from like roadies and shit that like had their daily catalogs, like embarrassing amount of shit. So I know these stories
I'm embarrassed
so
for you.
well. It's like, nope, that wasn't on that tour. That didn't happen then. You got that wrong.
That is funny when you actually know a lot about the subject of something, and
I
then
know
you
more
watch a
about them than
movie.
they know about themselves.
Yeah, no, but like when you watch a movie and then you're like, no, that's not how it happened. And
Yeah.
it's like, if you didn't know, if I watched, I'd just be like, oh, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. It's not,
I know, I know, but I'm saying it,
Yeah.
but I didn't watch it, so.
The thing with this is like I'm excited because I liked seeing I like Motley shows and they're good and all that. I really don't like this thing where you're doing that because the thing is that final
Where you're
tour
doing what?
where you're telling your fans like this is it, and we're not like those other bands that retire and then come back 10 years later, 5 years later. Those tickets were really expensive because it was the final one. You went out, you basically snowed your audience
That's
in a
it.
way to collect huge money.
Taking advantage.
Yeah, and it's like, I almost went to LA for that New Year's
wow.
Eve show. I would have spent thousands of dollars
Yeah.
to fly out, get a ticket, get a hotel, to be at the very last Motley Crue show.
Right.
And then you find out, like, those people that traveled from all over the world
That's awful.
are not going to be thrilled with it. It's like all of a sudden that ticket stub you had hanging framed is worthless.
Right.
It's worthless. And so that aspect of it, it's like, you know what? I'm glad in a way, but fuck, man, those tickets were expensive. So we've seen this before, these farewell tours. Kiss has probably had a dozen of them.
Yeah.
You know what I was going to say? By the way, you're probably about to read some of them off, I guess. I don't know
Some
what
of the bigger ones.
I don't know what the worst ones are by any means, but like for me personally, like Alabama, the country group Alabama, had a farewell tour, I believe, when I was in high school, by the way. And I don't think they've ever stopped playing. Like,
Are they still on the farewell
Yeah, they're
tour?
coming to Detroit in a month or something.
Does anyone acknowledge that?
Like,
yeah, it's
no, I'm
crazy.
not going to say, like, if I looked into them, maybe technically they took some 6 months off or something, or
Yeah.
and where they could say it. But, like, they have never, like, as far as my knowledge is concerned, they've never actually really took serious time off. And they said they were going
Yeah.
on a farewell tour, like, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
As far
Dude,
as I know.
I'll go back further than that. I've mentioned this before, the Rolling Stones at Spartan Stadium. That
Yeah.
was not billed as a final tour, but it was sort of like, you should probably go see them now.
Yeah,
I mean,
while
it was,
you
the,
can.
it was the Voodoo Lounge tour.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
I went to that tour. I
But
think.
you definitely did, like, reasonably so. I mean, look at these fucking guys out there, right?
Yeah.
You're like, you better go see them this time.
But if
And
they
so a
didn't
lot of people
announce it,
did.
you
Oh,
know,
yeah, they didn't. So they didn't try to take advantage of you that way.
Yeah.
But that was sort of disappointing that at least somebody didn't die right after that.
Yeah,
And they've
right.
just gone on and
It's
on and on and on and
amazing
on.
They're still going. I mean, they're coming back again now, aren't they?
How old's
Yeah.
Mick?
72. He just had a kid, right? Isn't he 72?
Wow,
Something like that. He's got like a toddler running around.
so dumb.
Dude,
Alabama-
at my age,
sorry.
I'm like the thought of a toddler running, like fuck that,
Yeah.
no way.
Alabama's farewell tour started in 2003. and they're coming
16 years
They're
ago.
coming to Detroit, like I
Yeah.
said, in a month or something like that.
Mick's 76, man.
Is he 76?
Shit, she is.
Anyway.
Kiss, it's a joke. Like people just laugh at Kiss. They've had so many farewell tours. The Who, I'm glad I got to see them. Who? I got to see him when they came to the Palace, and with Ringo Starr's kid, Zach Starkey, I believe, playing drums, and it was a great show. And it's like, oh, you know, if they announced they were retiring in 1980 something, you know, well, whatever. I got to see the Who. I'm not pissed about that one. Black Sabbath, Phil Collins. I didn't know he announced that. Ozzy Osbourne. I think he's had a few. Tina Turner, Cher, among others. The Eagles was a famous one. Hell Freezes Over tour. Remember that? Mm-hmm. So, and I got to see that tour. So I'm not pissed about that one, but
God, this, you know, by the way, this says not that you care as much about this as I do, but it looks into it and it says that they did disband, and it says they got back. And it was in 2010 when they got back together. I just swear I remember, like it felt like maybe they didn't officially do it, but like it felt like they were doing shows. But even so,
how many original members of Alabama
I think it's the same.
are
I think
there?
it is the original members.
Is it just tongue in cheek now, though? Right? It's like,
Well, I don't think they called it. Now they're just on tour. They're just on a tour now. They're just back together. So it says they broke. It says they were gone for 7 years. So I guess I'll have to take this word for it. What I'm reading
Yeah.
here, but
No, they all do it. What I'd like to know is honestly, when Motley announced that and made such a spectacle,
what were they thinking?
what were they
truly?
thinking? Fuck it, we'll have a loophole that gets us out. We can tear this up, but we'll make a killing right now. Or was it because I know those guys weren't really getting along very well and didn't want to be in the same room. There was a lot of fucking tension between like Tommy Lee and Vince Neil, and Mick was sick and all that kind of stuff. And so it wasn't a fun
Oh,
experience.
Mick's still alive, huh?
Mick is still
Yeah,
alive,
okay.
but hanging in there. I think.
Still
They
vampiric.
might just have some puppeteer up top, you know, doing that. But I'd love to know what their thought was. If it was truly they were like, fuck this, thank God this is over. We never have to do this again.
Yeah.
And then, you know, tension's cool over time, over, you know, a couple weeks go
Right?
by.
Why are we passing on all this money? Why are we leaving it on the table?
I mean, that'd be hard to do.
Yeah, for
if It's
sure.
like, dude, we can go make $1 million a night.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we?
you know what? Another one, by the way, that I remember for me specifically was a NASCAR one. This guy was this Martin. Fucking now I can't think of his name. All of a sudden, it's on my fucking head.
We got time.
But he retired. He went on an absolute, like, his car was painted up, farewell tour, blah, 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 you know, all this shit. And he's like, I'm going to go home and spend time with my family. And it was like, dude,
Right,
the next
Urban
year,
Meyer.
the
Yeah,
next
right.
year, like, yeah, like the next
Spent
year,
3
like-
weeks with his family and went, fuck that. Put me on a set somewhere.
Exactly, dude. The next year, all of a sudden, he was just like kind of back again.
Yeah.
I think he started with the truck series or this or that, but like, and then like a year later,
It's in his blood. He
full time
can't blame him.
and it was like
Racing's
100%.
in his blood.
I know, dude. I know.
Think about it though. With these guys that are like, I need to spend time with my family. It's like you've spent 30 years
Right.
with this person who you see on weekends barely.
So they're going to treat
know?
you really well.
Well,
right?
no,
Like,
it's like you're so busy if you're doing an ESPN show or if you're a head football coach, you just don't see your family that much. And then it's like the days probably are really long when Lee Corso gets home and is just like,
Doesn't have a big head to put on.
Right.
When do I get to put on a big head?
Yeah, he's just in the living
No,
room.
you don't ever.
Well, then
Never.
it's like,
You're done,
dude,
remember?
when you're someone like
Urban
him,
Meyer. Can you imagine Urban Meyer? Honey, would you grab the, would you pick up this on your way home? And he's like, fuck.
yeah, he's used to being at the fucking stadium,
Pushing
and
people
being
around, screaming
right.
at people, grabbing players.
I mean, when you talk about Lee Corso, he goes on these trips where they put him up in hotels, and he gets to go down and just get room service, and now you're right back
Mr.
at home
Corso, your car's here.
with the hag, and he's
Yeah.
just like,
He's at home trying on fucking Buckeye heads and stuff. Like, oh man, I missed this. Oh,
Nobody's
there's my
even cheering for me.
Yeah. Oh, that stinks.
No, Urban Meyer will be back coaching next year.
Oh yeah.
USC, right? Is that the
Is that what
rumor?
they're talking about? Yeah. Anyway, Qantas.
Without a
Pumps.
U.
Yeah.
Qantas without a U.
They look good with an umlaut somewhere in there, wouldn't they? Qantas. I don't know where you could put it, but yeah, there's more fallout. Apparently, they're just racist. Just racist. 50 Cent's guitarist Travis Ferguson has also been embroiled in controversy as a passenger. Now he didn't bitch about this. A passenger was bitching about this. Witnessed a flight attendant berate the musician.
Wait, who's guitarist?
50 Cent.
Like, how do you recognize 50 Cent's guitarist?
I don't know that. I don't know
They
that
probably
anybody
didn't. They
did.
probably just saw
he
it,
just
right?
saw a black guy getting a guitar, putting a guitar with.
Yeah,
him
but
on
somehow through this they've got identified, right? Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. Who the fuck would know? Unless you just saw like, oh my God, Will.i.am's on this flight, 50 Cent's on this flight. They're clearly all together, and who knows. But they figured out it was Travis Ferguson, and so he tries to board with his guitar, and they were not having it. The female, the sky waitress, said he had to get off the plane to check his instrument. Ferguson then left the plane only to return with his guitar, leading to a verbal altercation. They didn't say any racist words, but they only treated the black people that way. So apparently, this passenger saw all the people on the plane and their treatment, and noted that only black people were treated this way. A roadie who was told he couldn't take his instrument on board offered to buy a spare seat for the item, only for the flight attendant to insist he go down to the bag checking area. The passenger said the man then suggested he could put his guitar in the overhead compartment, which would fit, no issue. It'll absolutely fit in there. Flight attendant responded sternly, "It cannot fit in there. It's not going in there. It's going down the back." The situation then escalated when the flight attendant went over to first class, where Will.i.am and his crew had been seated, and began raising her voice. So is that a shot there? They saying 50 Cent and his crew is in coach, in a way. A member of the group then started recording the incident, further escalating this the little row they were in. One of their other Qantas guys came over came on the flight and said, "Delete that video. This plane is not leaving until you delete that video." Again, we've been trying, Jay, to extend benefits of the doubt to people. It sounds to me like Qantas has a policy that if you have not in advance pre-checked your guitar and paid extra whatever to say, I don't want my guitar under the plane, I want it in overhead, I'm going to pay the whatever. And a lot of planes don't make you do that, probably. Qantas maybe does. It sounds like there's some policy here.
they're very safe. You can't argue with their safety.
I know. I'm convinced they're due. Get it out of the way and then move back.
If their safety standards require that shit gets stowed, shit gets stowed.
Yeah.
It's been 100%.
Yeah.
100%
You want to
proper the
crash
whole
this
time.
plane? You want to crash
You?
this plane? Do we know what we're doing?
Huh?
Have you seen our track? Look, here's our track record. How many crashes have we had? You see that? That's a blank page. Fucking none.
Here's a YouTube link to Rain Man. Go, listen.
Yeah, go ahead. Safest airlines in the world. Ask Rain Man. And so, my
Definitely,
guess is
definitely.
only the black people were treated like that because only the black musicians had their guitars.
well,
that
that's
maybe
not what they
weren't-
said.
weren't
More people said,
pre-checked.
oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know that that's the case, but you can imagine if you've got a $15,000 guitar, custom built for you,
That would be a relevant fact.
you would not
They
want that.
pre-check this.
Yes, you would not want that just stowed. We've all seen baggage handlers. I could see how a musician would be like, you know what? I'm going to buy an extra seat, or I'm going to stow this up here. And if someone goes, "Sir, there's a policy, blah blah," and if you don't let that go, they're going to get stern.
What was it, the old Samsonite commercial where they had the guys in the gorilla suits? Like in the back, you watch your thing
Oh,
go
yeah.
back, and then they're like just chucking them.
Yeah.
See?
And we've seen video of that too.
Absolutely, we
Where
have.
guys are just winging shit, and you're like, oh, come on,
I
man.
wouldn't trust them with a musical instrument.
Yeah. So Qantas rejected accusations of in-flight racism. You would think if they were truly just a racist airlines, we would be hearing this a long time ago. Like, oh, Qantas, yeah, they've got a history of just.
Can't you get really good travel cases, like impact resistant travel case? Like, people take skis and things, and obviously those can be banged around more than a guitar. But
Yeah.
they have them in nice hard
Cases,
things.
sure, you can absolutely, but
not ideal.
sometimes you get there and it's like, I don't know where your luggage is. We're gonna find it and we'll send it to you. So if it's like, dude, this is my job. If I don't, this is my my '59 Les Paul that I take with me everywhere.
Yeah.
It's my main touring guitar. I don't want it. I don't want to run a risk of you guys losing it. I bought something in California and I had it shipped back here. It's still not here.
Uh-huh.
When was that? 8 months ago?
Oh shit! Really?
It's still in the system and gone somewhere. FedEx.
For real?
Yes. I'm like, Mom, have you heard anything from FedEx? Because I ended up leaving. She stayed, and so she's like, I'll ship it out. I'll take it over to FedEx. And so I'm like, have you heard anything? She's like, oh yeah, they're still looking for it. So if that was your guitar, that was your livelihood, and guitarists can be very particular about what they're playing. Very
understand.
particular. So I get why they wouldn't want to do that. You would think musicians like this at this level would know, though, where they need to pre-check it and don't. But, to just jump to racist. Will.i.am's account did not strike me as completely honest, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
I was dutifully watching the safety video in the beginning, and then I just put my headphones on. I missed it. Now I'm in trouble. Cops. So absent a retraction, Qantas is still, as far as I can tell, standing by that. Absent a retraction, they would consider taking legal action, especially if the Sky waitress was interested in that. And that could work because Australia's got extremely strict defamation laws, and courts routinely in favor of people that are like, my reputation's been tarnished, it's been ruined. And if you've got someone like Bill I Am, tweeting out to 12.8 million people and name dropping her, I don't know what that's worth in Australia. Perhaps a roo? Give him a roo? A Joey? Would you take a Joey? I would. So, yeah. I don't know. We'll see what Will.i.am does.
Hey, if you suffered a traumatic accident or injury, don't call the Billboard or TV attorneys. Your first call should be to Ogden Legal Triage. Ogden Legal Triage will find you the right personal injury attorney for your case at no cost. They'll negotiate the best price, save you time, money, and hassle. Who better to help you find a lawyer but a lawyer? Ogden Legal Triage. For more information, go to firstcalldetroit.com.
Congressman Eric Swalwell.
He farted.
He did. He's done it before. It's probably not the first time.
He farted.
He was running for president, wasn't he?
Yeah, for a second.
Yeah, and wasn't he the first one that bailed? He might have been the first guy that was like, okay,
I mean,
no
the
one
first one
cares.
who's been on a stage, I think,
Yeah.
I think there's like 100 or 200 people who put their name in and actually register.
Right, but then they've got 20 people on stage for a debate.
Yeah.
And he
but
was like way to the one
of
side.
the ones that anybody knew who they were, yeah, I think he was one of the first out.
Well, I think people would know Eric Swalwell because he just does so many TV appearances, and he's a Democrat, California Dem, and he's not afraid to go on Fox News. Like a lot of those guys won't go on Fox News and go head to head with Hannity or Tucker, or Laura Ingraham, but Swalwell doesn't give a shit. I respect that. At least he'll go in there and give his point. They'll shit on him. He'll shit on them. But he was not on Fox News. He was on MSNBC this time, and he appeared on Hardball with Chris Matthews. And he's talking. Matthews had asked him about evidence submitted in the impeachment proceedings, which I can't even watch, dude. I don't know if you've watched any of it.
No.
I'm just like, no, I'm not doing this to myself. I'm not working myself up. So I just shut it
Well,
off.
it sounds like the witnesses are just witnesses they had in closed door
Right.
depositions before, and all of that leaked already. So what they said.
Yeah, but there's a lot of grandstanding. These people that want to have their moment, and so they'll they've got 5 minutes. They'll use 4 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, there's no new information coming out, it doesn't seem.
Yeah.
Other than people's mannerisms. Ooh, so-and-so confronted so-and-so in a heated manner. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I wonder if
But all the
country-
information came out 2 weeks ago when these closed door hearings
Sure.
were held.
Do you think the country cares? Like, I'd love to know if if we're just sick of it and we're not paying that much attention, or I wonder if the country.
Well, the real
gives a
question to
shit.
me would be whether the people that care are actually watching this and then deciding based on this, or whether there
That's
are people.
a great point, E.
Or whether people just want to impeach
No.
Trump or not watching
you're
it.
in
Yeah.
support of your team.
Right.
There may be people who are interested in watching, but they're just simply supporting their team. Great point. E.
Yeah.
I don't think there's many people in the middle who are going, God, I just we need to get to the bottom of this.
I
And
need more
trust
information.
I trust Congress to do it.
Yeah,
Right.
I just need a few more answers. Hopefully, we get to them. I know there's people sitting at home, and if it's like they hate the Republicans, when an R starts saying, they're just like cunt, 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 and then when a D gets up, they're like yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
The Rorschach
Amen.
test.
Amen. Speak it.
Preach.
Truth to power.
From your words to God's ears.
So, yeah.
Don't get over your skis, E. You had a good point.
I
yeah,
know,
just-
sorry.
yeah, slow down, settle down.
I got-
Back
I got-
in there,
I
stay in
got-
your lane.
Sorry. Apologize.
So he asked Swalwell about evidence submitted in the impeachment proceedings looking into Trump's alleged quid pro quo.
And then he farts in response.
Yeah. So let's see if this is an actual fart on TV.
I listened to a few of these because it almost sounded like this
So
seemed
far,
fake to
the
me.
evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard from Republicans all last week
Is that the
was
best
that
audio
don't
you have of
anyone
this, E?
I listened to other ones. I guess one was on like Instagram, and it was the same sound to me. So I was like, "Is that even real?"
Looks like he's in Statuary Hall, right?
Yeah.
That hall in
Yeah.
the Capitol building.
Yep.
I remember from a tour, and you're probably going to remember this too, Isis, from being a boy in Statuary
Right.
Hall. And what they tell you is, oh, there's a place in
Yes.
there, and because of the acoustics, you can actually hear people talking over there. I wonder if
Yes.
somebody went to that spot, farted, and it
Ripped one?
traveled.
Maybe.
that is
But
funny. Yeah.
he
Set
does
him up.
He does have a bit of a pause, because it's really hard to talk and fart at the same time. You want to, and then you continue on.
Is that a fart that you're trying to gently let out during an
Maybe.
interview, though?
And
Is
you have-
that one?
What is the deal with that when it's like I'm just gonna? And you're like, oh fuck! Why did that thing scream? What's that about?
I don't think you let it go if you know that's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, what did he think? I mean, there was no way it was going to be a
Yeah, best case scenario, it's that.
squeak one out, and then that thing's going to stink
What
to
if
high
he-
heven.
I mean, what if though? Like, what if he just said like,
I think it's set up.
"Excuse me, a second." I apologize. Like, I mean, no one would because the funny
If
thing
he
is not
leaned over, it'd still get picked up on the mic. If he was
No,
like,
no, no, I
you
get
know
that,
what,
but, like-
you know what, Mr. Matthews, give me 1 second. He just walked over here.
No, I get that.
Couldn't have been him, right? You
I-
can't just fart in the middle of an answer.
I get that, but I'm
if you
saying,
gotta
like,
fart.
but no one would say anything if you like if you had to cough. If he just was like, "Oh, sorry,"
Like cough
one-
at the same time? Wow, yeah.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like
I would go,
it's
nice try, Eric. We all heard that.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like no one would say like you wouldn't be watching the YouTube video if it was just a casual cough. Like no one says anything over a cough
Yeah.
because it's this fart. Like
Yeah,
what if
it's
he
a
were to-
butthole.
I know, but what if he were to say, "You know what, dude? I can't hold this in."
No,
And then
you can't.
No, you can't do that.
Why not?
It's this guy's whole job to present like that with his little pin on his
Well, is it
lapel.
better? Is it better this
That's
way?
To have
Living
his
forever.
hair exactly combed over. That's perfect,
so it's
right?
better this way
That's
than
his
when
job.
Someone has pouted his face.
Yes.
He's got to have the perfect linguistics, the perfect words and
So this is
verbiage.
better?
He can't rip a fucking huge fart in the middle of that.
No.
Because
I
that's,
disagree.
That's the Dean scream. He's
I don't.
We're
think,
going to Michigan.
No,
We're going to
I don't,
Washington.
that wasn't a bodily function. This is a bodily function.
No, the point is it's Mondale with the stupid helmet on at the tank.
I want the
again,
acoustics.
those aren't the same things.
I want the
are- they're-
acoustics of Statuary Hall looked
they're not
into.
the
I
same
think
thing.
this is a setup. I think it's somebody. I think it's a political opponent standing across the hall.
Maybe. With what? Like one of those fart machines?
No, farting himself.
Farting himself.
Or
A
with a
second
fart
farter.
machine. Doesn't. Yes. The
On the grassy knoll?
Yes.
There was a second farter? My point is, it's now you're stuck with that. That fart lingers for 30 seconds in that room. It lingers with him his whole career.
He didn't
No,
fart.
but my point is like
As far as I'm concerned,
those
he
helmets
did.
they chose to do that. This is that you didn't choose to want to have to.
I'm just
have a
saying
bodily
it's a
function.
moment that is
it's
with
not
you
the
forever.
same.
You're not known as the great congressman anymore. You're known as, oh yeah, you're the fart guy from Fartgate. Hashtag Fartgate.
He did not do this. There's no fucking way. Do it again, E. There's no way he does
so
this.
far, the evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard from Republicans
I don't know, man.
all last week was that you don't have anyone who heard the call. Chris, so far, the evidence...
Does Matthews react at all? Go ahead.
Wouldn't he react? Like, wouldn't he? Like,
He can't.
at least for a second, like deer in the
No.
headlight?
No, if he's going to risk letting that thing go, maybe he would chuckle. I would laugh. Like if I was like, all right, I'm just going to squeak this out. And
Wouldn't
that
there
was
be
like,
some tell in his face?
I was
where
trying to
it'd be
look
like,
this
"Oh,
time
shit."
to see.
It's
but-
weird. Like this audio is not great. This is like a recording of a recording. So, and it seems like it almost looks edited. The one I saw was like the CNBC or MSNBC broadcast, and it was clear, and it didn't look edited. It looked like he farted, paused a second, and then kind of bounced and got back into it. But I wonder if
I
Matthews
saw.
reacts.
I don't think I saw anything different than this. I didn't see any pause by him.
That's what people.
The evidence is uncontradicted that the president
People are
used
saying there's a
taxpayer dollars
pause?
to ask the
And a
Ukrainians to help
bounce.
him cheat an election.
Yeah,
and
right
the
there.
complaint that
I
I've
mean-
heard from Republicans
Yeah, it's
all
weak.
last
Weak
week.
I don't think
evidence.
it
I
is,
don't
but I
think
don't-
that evidence holds up in
Chris,
court.
So far,
You can't.
I just think I don't care who you are. If you let that out and you hear that, that was a big fart.
What's the play?
There-
What do you do?
You got to keep going, but there would be some tell. There'd be something.
Little
like
wink
some,
to the camera,
I mean,
or-
that is so extraordinary. That's something you definitely don't want to do on camera. You're that guy.
Yeah.
That's like a nightmare. There'd be something, a twinkle in his eye, like, oh shit.
Well, you've all had that moment where you think it's just gonna fucking be subtle, quiet, and then hey, what's going on? It surprises you, and it's like, wow, that was way louder than I
Do you
thought.
think
it
a
was
guy
gonna be.
like that, like those egos, would go so far as to like get mad at an aide? Like maybe they gave like someone must have given me coffee with more cream. They know that does it to me or something like that.
No,
like,
I'm lactose intolerant.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if that.
Who knows? Or maybe he's just one of those guys when bodily functions happen, he's the guy that just kicks in the stall door and just lets loose in front of a whole, doesn't even courtesy flush or try to be subtle in any way, one of those animals.
Well, I'd like
Look,
to
listen.
see him a few minutes after, like once he was off the camera and walked away, and he'd have his aides around him. Like, were they chuckling to themselves if it happened, and like if so, like how that went down? Like,
Yeah.
I just think there's zero chance it was him. This dude's whole life is wrapped up. The kind of dog he has, the wife he married, everything
Yeah.
is in mind with this political
So
career.
if that's
There's
true- He
no
was a
way he
junior
rips a
Democrat?
fart. There's no way he lets a fart out.
But with that being true, imagine if it was him. Imagine when he went home, he must have just been like.
And that's what I'm saying. It would be so disastrous in his mind that he would tell somehow.
Yeah,
his
but
face would tell.
What do you want him to do? Get a tummy ache in that situation? He can't hold that thing in forever. Matthews just keeps going on, asking questions, and
Yeah, it's Chris
he's just
Matthews.
getting more of a tummy ache every second. He's like, I got to let this thing out.
I don't believe it.
Swalwell later told BuzzFeed that it was not him.
He had to
It was
answer
not
this.
me! Explanation. And people are like, yeah, I'm he who denied it supplied it, kind of thing, you know?
Right.
It was not me. I didn't even hear it when I was speaking.
You didn't hear that?
No, the incident went viral, though, with the hashtag Fartgate. Even Trump's son, Don Jr., got in. Most intelligible thing to come out of Swalwell in years. It's not bad, you know, in the moment. Eventually, Hardball tweeted an explanation for the sound. And I'm not buying this. I will run this by you guys and see what you think.
So the question is it a fart?
Right.
Fundamentally,
They're claiming it is
Before we
not.
get to whose was it?
Yeah.
Was it even a fart?
So, I mean, Matthews is probably getting sick. He's like, Swalwell's all over TV saying it wasn't him. Well, I'm the only other one on camera. Get out there and make a statement because people think I just farted in Swalwell's face. So Hardball tweeted, sorry to disappoint the conspiracy theorists. It was the hashtag hardball mug scraping across the desk.
Let's hear it again, Isis.
I don't
One
buy
more
that.
time.
This does not sound like any mug scraping across the desk I've ever heard.
Well, MSNBC is a very credible
The
news
evidence
source.
Absolutely.
is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And the complaint that
I
I've
think he
heard from
does
Republicans-
move on.
Does not sound like a
Let's hear it.
mug.
Let's hear it again. A mug across the wood
to
desk.
ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard
It's a sheet ripper, man. Jay admitted it. You can admit it. That's a sheet ripper. You don't want to believe someone of his stature would do it, but
Everybody poops.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that dude would do that in a million years.
If you had to
just
bet
given his-
E's life on it,
Yeah,
would
I
you
would-
say that was a fart or a mug?
Oh, I don't know.
E's life on the line right here.
I guess it's a reasonable explanation, the mug, but a fart is also reasonable.
Yeah, I'm going fart all day.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to save E's life.
I'd bet E's life that As a mug, yeah. Let's go for that.
Wow. What happens on that one?
Sorry.
What happens to E's life if
I don't know.
it's crazy? It's a fart. Definitely a fart.
Maybe.
Let's see. What else is going on? Oh, Amelia Clark, Game of Thrones. She's the hot chick, mother of dragons. Showed her titties a lot, her buttocks. Season 1. She has now said that bosses guilt tripped her. They're showing them titties in multiple nude scenes. Says she wasn't comfortable, but they were like, "You don't want to disappoint fans." I gotta be honest. I would have been disappointed as a fan.
Didn't someone else in that show famously have a body double in a big nude scene? Like,
Yes, the shame when that cult like walked the queen or whatever.
so body doubles are available.
Well, she was pregnant at the time, and people were like, "You're not a real actress. You got a body double to walk that." And she's like,
You know what's,
"Fuck you, I'm pregnant, man."
Really fun. This is when you mentioned body doubles. It's just off the subject, but like I watched this new show on Netflix with Paul Rudd called like Living with Yourself or something like that, and it's really
Oh yeah,
crazy because Paul Rudd plays a situation where he doesn't realize it, but he thinks he's going into this spa that's going to help him like get more confident and shit. And it turns out what they do is they clone people, and then randomly this time the clone didn't die. So then Paul Rudd is having to deal with his cloned body, and they have like fight scenes and shit with each other. And I'm watching it trying to be like look at
Yeah.
see when they're taken away. Like when, I wonder when
Very
this.
Rudd-like.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm sure it's
Well, that's-
him and
that-
him, but
they know that people like you are looking for it.
I know,
now,
I know.
And they're gonna pause, and now we can have an HD picture and just go frame by frame
like,
looking for.
where is that
That's
son of
not
a-"
Paul Rudd, you fuckers. That's not two Rudds.
well, I've noticed there is a lot of still scenes in it where it's like when the fight's happening, where one of the guys is in it, and the other part is just like a body part, you
Yeah.
know. And so there's very few.
Well, you
like-
know, there's not two Paul Rudds, right?
Right, I do,
Yeah, yeah.
I do.
So,
This
so
wasn't
they
really a
have to
cloning
do
situation.
something like that.
But it was funny just because there was like I know there's been shows with clones like where people are playing with themselves, but like this one there's just
Gross.
so much of it because it's just flat out, you know, these two characters and they're interacting with each other all the time, and it's like holy shit, that's kind of crazy.
I'm trying to think.
And one definitely looks like one is meant to look like he's a little more with it, like the one's more meant to be like his life is beating him up a little bit. He's kind of fatter, you know, kind of just
Sure,
like.
there's not some CGI going on here. He's
Oh, I'm
just-
sure there's something, but I'm just saying it's interesting just because it is those, you know, it's Paul Rudd versus Paul Rudd in this
I'm trying
thing.
to think
Like,
of.
I'm sure it's some level of CGI or a stunt double that's wearing like
Yeah.
you know green bodysuit and they're just or something. I don't know.
No, they probably got someone that looks fairly close to him, and
That
then,
does some
and
of
then they
this-
could do touch-up CGI
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
in post. I'm trying to think of the first times we saw that where it was like, oh, there's two of them, but there's not really two of them. Like TV shows when we were younger had to pull that off in a much different way, in the way they filmed it and
Yeah.
shot it and everything.
I remember I mean, this is not. I'm sure this is way not the first by any means, but I remember one I really liked as a kid was that Multiplicity. I don't know if you remember that with fuck.
No.
Who's the guy who does Keaton?
Oh,
Michael
Michael
Keaton.
Keaton.
Michael Keaton, I think, did that, and I remember really
Oh,
liking
yeah,
that.
I never saw that, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and
Was
that
it a
was
movie
like,
or a
movie?
Movie. Yeah, I don't remember that one.
Friends had, you know, Phoebe had her
Ursula?
her twin sister.
for sure. Yep,
Yeah, and then actually Ross played himself in an episode too. Ross and Russ.
that's right. You're right.
Did you know that Ursula was a recurring character from Mad About
Yes,
You?
I did.
Yes.
I-
What was she on the
She
Mad
was
About You?
Ursula.
She was a waitress. Is that what Ursula was
I
on Mad About You?
I think
Probably.
so. I don't know, but I only know about it because I was looking into that Friends trivia that I did last. So I don't remember much about it, but I do remember in looking it up stuff about Friends that was a thing.
Well, the James Franco show on HBO is it Deuce or Deuces or something? I don't know.
The Deuce.
Yeah, and-
42nd Street, yeah.
Yeah, and he's got a twin brother. It's just him playing both roles. That they do that really well, pulling that off. So anyway, I don't know how we got there from Game of
Body
Thrones.
doubles.
Body doubles. Yeah, there you. Thank you. So the actress said she hadn't agreed to the nudity in advance, but felt she should do it anyway because she was new to the industry. I'm a lot more savvy now with what I'm comfortable with and what I'm okay with doing. I've had fights on set before where I'm like, no, the sheet stays up, and they're like, you don't want to disappoint your Game of Thrones fans, and I'm like, fuck you. She would have. I would have been disappointed. I would have. Having previously said she wouldn't redo a single part of her role, she now admits the amount of nudity in the first season was overwhelming, and she relied on alcohol to get through it, through the scenes. I took the job, and then they sent me the scripts, and I was reading them, and I was like, oh, There's the catch. But I'd come fresh from drama school, and I approached it as a job. If it's in the script, that's clearly needed. That's what this is, and I'm going to make sense of it. Everything's going to be cool. So I came to terms with it beforehand. So what are we bitching about?
I know.
Yeah, you were paid a tremendous amount of money for that.
You knew that going in.
And you know what?
Decided to do it.
Game of Thrones had tons of nudity, especially early on, and tons of panooses.
Is that right?
Yeah, tons of panooses were shown. Loads of panooses.
Huh.
Yeah, more panooses than I've ever seen in a series, Jay.
Is that right?
I will go on record and say that, yes. So for her to
Was
be
it
wanted,
needed for the storyline?
well, I mean, it's more shock value. You just don't see random panooses very often.
To just
No,
get
you
people
don't.
talking? Like, oh my God, the nudity in this is.
South Park actually did an episode where the kids went to R.R. Martin's house, and Butters was demanding to know, where are the fucking dragons? Why aren't the dragons anymore? And why are we seeing so many penises? Like, you really want to know why there were so many dicks in
Yeah.
this series.
R.R. Martin is the writer, or what?
Yeah, George R.R. Martin. He's a fat slob of a guy, and they've cartooned him as a big fat slob of a guy. The kids are demanding to know because, you hear about these dragons, and for the first, 5 seasons, the dragons aren't there, or they're eggs, and then they're birthed, and they're just wisps.
Yeah.
They're not dragons yet. And so it's like, where are the dragons, and why am I seeing so many panooses? Fair questions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and she says, I've never been on a film set like this before, and now I'm on a...
Dude.
Oh shit.
Thank God for
That's
art
the
for him.
creator of
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
He'd be easy to cartoon up, right, for South Park?
Yeah.
There's a lot to work with there.
Oh, yeah, there is. Look at that face. I mean,
Yeah.
Santa Claus, man.
Yeah, that's not a handsome man.
Thank God for, like I said, for being able to create a show like that for him, or else
Yeah.
how's he going to get sex without that?
You think Game
he
of Thrones
pay-
could... Yeah,
You know what I
just
mean?
he can afford it.
No, but I'm saying, let's say he doesn't make Game of Thrones.
Oh, he does the watch on the
think that
inside
guy's
of the
paid
wrist
for
thing,
sex.
right?
Yeah, not good.
Why,
Oh,
why do
God.
you? Why do people do that?
I don't
To
know.
protect the face of the watch, maybe, or
And it looks like one of those painful metal watches
Yeah.
that'll rip your hairs out.
clips forward then backward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
God, there's a lot of ugly
A
humans.
ring.
Just
It's
a
that
lot of
ring.
ugly humans.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what
just
I
a
mean?
random ring.
It's like his high school class ring or something.
6-year-old guy. Is that a pinky ring on it? No, that's just a backdrop. Anyway, she says, I've never been on a set like this. Now I'm on this film set completely naked with all these people, and I don't know what I'm meant to do, and I don't know what's expected of me, and I don't know what you want, and I don't know what I want. Regardless of there being nudity or not, I would have spent that first season thinking I'm not worthy of requiring anything. I'm not worthy of needing anything. Whatever I'm feeling is wrong. I'm going to cry in the bed. Honey, you're way overthinking this. It's a pair of titties. You know what I mean? You're making a tremendous paycheck. Show your titties. They're not asking-
Or don't do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Turn
Those
the
are the role.
job down.
Yeah.
Yes. She did turn a job down. She turned the job down to play the lead role in 50 Shades of Grey, the chick who's nude in every fucking
Oh,
scene.
right.
And so you know how to do that. You can do that. She said she was overjoyed. She told the Sun in 2016 she was overjoyed that she went ahead with the nudity, saying, "All I needed was vodka and some flattering lighting, and I was ready." So, okay, which is it?
I think she got high marks too, right? Nobody
Yeah.
complained about it.
Yes.
Nobody said ugh.
Jason Momoa, who played her show
Aquaman,
lover. Yeah,
right?
I think so. Yeah, called Drogo.
He was on that show.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yep, he's a fucking big dude.
Yeah, he'd be
was
perfect
he-
for it. The long hair, the beard, all that.
Exactly. What did he play? Aquaman.
Yeah, I could see him with a bunch of fur, a big fur cloak on,
Yeah,
right?
yep.
A big broadsword.
And he encouraged her to do only what made her feel comfortable. You know, it was like, she was like, she said it was definitely hard, which is why scenes when I got to do them with Jason were wonderful, because he was like, "No, sweetie, this isn't okay." And I was like, "Oh." And then she reflected, she got, he had to get nude in a scene. I don't think he showed dong though. And so she strips totally naked, and she's like, "I did see it. I saw his member, but it was covered in a pink fluffy sock, showing it would make people feel bad. It's too fabulous." However, she went on to praise the show's equal amounts of female and male nudity. So yeah, there you go. Anyway,
You know that Jason Momoa is married to Lisa Bonet? Remember Lisa Bonet?
Yeah,
Married to
from-
Lenny Kravitz from
sure.
and then
Cosby.
from the Cosby Show, yeah. She's married to Jason Momoa. Isn't that
No
weird?
yeah, it seems like she'd be way too old.
Way
for him.
older, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
that's
sure. Yeah, she says, and the problem with a lot of these chicks, these goddamn feminists, man, always ruining shit. Anytime some chick does a hot nude scene, feminists are like, "Man, you don't have to do that." Get all bitchy. Shut up. Shut up. Those nude scenes were necessary. They were. Not the Panus ones, but the chick ones.
No, I'd have some sympathy if she signed up for something different, right? She signs up and then they're like, you know,
Yeah. They're drooling.
we're gonna need you to take out the titties, and she's like, dude, not what I signed up for, but no, she signed up for it.
Well, she says, I took the job and then I got the script. And it was like, oh, I have to get nude. So she made peace with it long before she ever filmed anything. And they really did tone down the nudity for the most part. But it's like, you know, this is a chance to be captured beautifully, artistically, on
Is that right?
film for life.
She wasn't one of the ones being raped.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe she was.
Maybe she was.
Either way, trust me, there's going to come a day not too long from now when she's going to go, no, I'll get nude, and people are going to go, I'll pass.
Yeah.
You know what? How about you keep your clothes on? How about we double up on the wardrobe here for Amelia Clark? You know, so now while you've got this window of opportunity to show them
In her
titties,
prime.
yeah, take pride in that. She said she was trying to portray the character as strong. So there's a scene in one of them, and I don't know if you were watching it then, where
I've never seen an episode.
there's a fire. She's the dragon mama, so she's
Gotcha.
not. So fire doesn't affect her. She can, you know, take it. And so
Right.
this building burns to the ground, and it's just fucking torched. And people are all these, warriors are standing there, and she comes walking out.
Just walking out.
Obviously, her clothes are not the dragon
Right.
clothes.
Yeah, yeah.
So they burn off, and she just comes waltzing out nude
Wow.
as the day.
Wow.
And it's like, that's awesome. It
Hmm.
was hot and awesome, and
So it was needed for the story.
I think it was.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, was all the nudity really gratuitous to this thing, or was it like, did it really enhance the story? Because you're talking
Some
about
of it,
you got
yeah.
dongs, you got everything.
Yeah.
Was it needed? Start throwing dongs.
I
in
don't
there.
have a problem.
You gotta, it's a fair question.
Let's be clear. None
Really
of the
need
dongs
that?
were necessary.
Okay.
None of the dongs.
So we've got that out of the way. Now, were any of the titties necessary?
Yeah,
For the story?
I mean, if you're showing a vicious rape scene, I mean, you can't really pull it off without some flopping titties, right?
I guess the
mean-
shame scene, and I've seen that. The whole thing is she's nude, right?
Yeah, but that's
I guess you
necessary
could-
for that scene,
I
right?
guess you could show it without showing her. I don't know. I guess you could always not show it.
You could not show it, but that's lame.
Yeah,
I mean,
right?
like you want the impact.
Yeah.
Of, like this is the queen being marched through the village
Right.
people, butt ass naked, while people are ringing bells, going shame.
Well, I mean,
Shame.
you can't see that without seeing it.
No, I'm saying sure you could, but the impact
Yeah.
is much more when it's like it's a long scene and she's nude for all of it, and you know these grimy, poor village people shame, and you know it's powerful. You pull up one of the scenes. Do you have Amelia Clark nude?
Sure.
Because I think Jay doesn't think she's that hot, which bothers me.
I don't know. I don't know who she is exactly. I've obviously seen.
We've
What else
done-
has she been in?
Nothing.
No.
We've done the Amelia Clark thing before.
Have we?
Yeah, and you took issue with her ass on the right.
Oh yes, I do
Do you
remember
that?
Yes.
And I'm not crazy about that now. This
Yeah.
has clearly been whoever took the video lightened it. So this is like middle of the day, beautiful. Game of Thrones is very dark.
Uh-huh.
The way it's shot, I bet her can didn't look quite like that
Yeah.
because it's.
It's not optimal.
What do you think?
Sure.
First two, left to right.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. E.
Looking
This
chick.
seems like a legitimate photo here.
Oh yeah, I love these. I know exactly where you're going. E.
Oh
This
jeez.
this
Yeah.
seems like from
Yeah.
the.
For
Dude, it's
sure.
her. It's hot.
For sure.
Yeah, she did a spread leg fucking scene in Game of Thrones where she was fingering her box. Sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Sure.
Right.
People.
What else has she been in? God, it's killing me now.
She's kind of new. She's doing stuff now. She was in a movie recently that I think was big, but her hair is brown.
Oh, Solo. She was in Solo.
Yes.
That's
yes,
how I know her.
Yes. Not the porn. You're talking about the
Right.
Star Wars.
Story.
Yes.
Solo.
She's like, I get a lot of crap for having done nude scenes and sex scenes. That in itself is so anti-feminist. Women hating on other women is just the problem. It's upsetting. I find it hypocritical that we can show people with their heads blown off, then there's one nipple and viewers get upset. Yes,
Totally,
I agree.
dude.
Totally agree.
I think violence should
If you
is
shoot a
way
face
more-
off, you should show a titty.
I think that there should be.
Should be a rule, like ratio 1-for-1, right?
Yeah, that's what I think.
I honestly think that if people wanted to actually seriously worry about like affecting kids growing up, dude, the fact
The
that we
violence is
treat
underrated,
right, the
isn't
fact
it?
that we treat sex as like this. Oh my God, my kid saw a tit, And it's like, yeah, blowing heads off in a fucking, that's just a guy movie. Just a guy movie. I think that's way worse if you really thought about it damaging versus treating sex like it's this like forbidden thing that should not even ever be looked at. Like, honestly. Sex is a natural thing that does happen. Seeing a person's head blow off is not necessarily something your kid's going to see.
Sometimes happens.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily like something that your kid might never see that in his life. He's going to see a naked girl in his life.
Well,
at some
it's
point.
gotten so gratuitous now. The violence in
I just don't
movies.
even-
Like, it used to be, The Godfather and stuff. You'd see someone shot and you'd see blood or, whatever. But now it's like close-ups of a guy's fucking face being blown off and brain matter. And you're like, dude, really? Okay, all right. That's can't be totally healthy.
Right.
To just sterilize that.
Right.
Wrap it up here with Amelia. It's annoying as hell, and I'm sick and tired of it because I did it for the character. I didn't do it so some guy could check out my tits, for God's sakes.
Now I got you.
It's just added benefit. Because trust me, lots of guys were just checking out them tits.
Hey, insurance, we all need it. Most of us don't know what kind of coverage we have. Ease us, start thinking right now. Or who provides it even. Well, let TDC listener Brent Wasik from Wasik Insurance Services change all that. Brent has over 30 years in the business, and he offers all types of insurance coverage, such as and including
Home,
see.
like I said the other day, life, auto,
And more.
more, other.
health, commercial, and more. Call Brent Wasik at 734-455-1900.
Remember the meteorologist we watched? I think he was from New York, somewhere in New York, Jeremy Capel, and he was fired. He was doing a story about in a park in New York, and he was on Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Totally
And,
remember
Yeah.
that.
Do you have the clip of what he actually said?
It's just a really small. I mean, this actually he has some apology at the end of this, but this is the one I
It's
can.
the dumbest story
Yeah.
ever.
This is the way it looked out at Martin Luther King Jr. Park.
That's literally it, dude.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King Jr. Park. And this is, one of those tongue-tied moments that everybody who's ever been on a microphone goes through. I heard one the other day. I can't remember what it was. Shit. It was
You do it all the time. You see
Yeah.
the next word you're about to read, and you
Yeah.
conflate the two.
Yeah. Martin
Lou, it's
Luther
the ooh.
King Jr. Yeah. Martin Luther King. He's not the first guy to do that. People have
Yeah, we
done
actually
that
looked that
before.
up when we did the story initially. We saw a couple other examples.
I thought someone on Sports Center even
Yeah.
did it. But this guy was.
This one will not be forgiven.
And I don't have the quotes here, but I thought their station manager came out was just like, this is outrageous behavior.
Yeah.
Well, he's terminated immediately.
Won the woke Olympics on that one.
Right. And so this guy gets fired because I believe it was the mayor
Yeah.
of the town 2 days
Demanded
later.
that he
Yeah.
be fired.
Warren, let's see, it was WHEC TV management that fired him, and it was during this segment shot in downtown Rochester Park bearing King's name. He did not correct himself. What's he supposed to do? Martin Luther King Jr. I'm sorry, I said Coon.
I didn't
did not
mean it. I didn't mean that.
I want to set the record
That would be
straight.
so much worse.
It sounded like I said Coon, but I didn't. I meant it was like I was trying to say Luther King, and it came out Luther Coon. That's not what I meant. Look, from the top. What is he supposed to do? Stop and stop it.
I mean, think about what you have to believe to think that this was intentional.
Yeah.
You have to believe this weatherman is going to go on TV, speak to thousands of people, and get in this little joke. A racist joke.
Yeah.
In this day and age, you're just going to slip it in there.
Yeah.
And then
Like-
just
and
go
pretend,
on.
Yeah, pretend like it didn't happen.
Pretend it didn't happen.
like he's
Then I've
got
got plausible deniability. What? I didn't. Just misspoke. No.
Just
I mean,
misspoke.
come on.
It's outrageous. It really is. It's the gotcha nature. 2 days later, no one says a fucking word. 2 days later. See?
Yeah.
Huh? Right there.
Layer.
Layer. Like I'm gonna layer this weekend. I'm gonna bang that shit. I'm
Sexist.
gonna
Wow.
layer.
Mike's going to sexually assault someone
Yeah,
this
I'm
weekend.
gonna layer this
He
weekend.
said it, E.
I didn't even know that's what that meant.
Yeah, well, it can.
Okay.
Who are you gonna lay? I'm gonna lay her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, see how that?
Get laid, you know?
Yeah, I get that, but I thought there was maybe something more than I was like
Well,
not.
there is, but I'm not gonna tell you what that is. either.
It's dark.
Figure
It's
it out.
devious.
It is.
Gotcha.
It's
Diabolical.
It's bad. Diabolical is a good word, and it's
Well,
you
I'd
know, it's
like
in the
to
gut.
keep my virgin mind.
It's in the gutter, so you don't want to go there. Warren and City Council President Loretta Scott demanded, and I mean demanded, Capel be fired, saying his use of a racial slur was beyond unacceptable. He later apologized, saying he jumbled a couple of words and did not intend to use racially offensive language. WHEC immediately shit cans him anyways.
Ugh, it's
Now,
tough
speaking
luck.
of the benefit of the doubt, how
Right.
you not go? Okay, I can see how you do that. Maybe make
Well-
a statement, say I didn't mean to do that. Sorry if I offended anyone.
It's like the
go through the
niggardly
whole
thing. It's the
rigmarole.
whole, you know what I mean? It's even worse than that. But when it's like,
Well, niggardly, that's a word in itself.
but that's what I mean. But people still wanted that guy fired for saying it.
Yeah.
And it was like, no. I understand. You think it
No,
sounded like
that's
something.
worse. The niggardly thing is worse.
You think
Because that's
so?
just entirely a different word.
Yeah. Fire him anyways. It's like,
But what about the?
no.
What about? I mean, God, there's a few of these already. Think about the Robert E. Lee getting fired from.
No, they didn't. They didn't want him doing the game, right?
Yeah.
Because
The
the whole
Chinaman?
statue thing. Yeah.
Yes,
Robert Lee.
Robert Lee.
Robert Lee. They took him off the game.
And then we called ESPN to say, is Bob Lee still allowed to do the game?
And I mean, the tennis dude, the guy who just
Yes,
said she
the guy who attacked it.
attacked it like a animal or
oh,
something.
like a gorilla or
Yeah.
no. Guerrilla
the
warfare.
guerrilla tactic
Gorilla-
there.
using gorilla.
Guerrilla.
Yeah.
Guerrilla, like guerrilla tactics.
G-U-E-R.
Yeah, not gorilla.
Yeah, that's the same as niggardly. Niggardly and gorilla are two. They
Yes.
can mean two different completely things than anything racist.
And he got fired.
Yeah, fired for that. Guerrilla warfare when he's talking about Serena Williams, I
Yeah.
think. And it was like, oh,
The manner
he
in which she
called her
attacks
a
in that.
gorilla. Called her a gorilla, giant ape.
He likened her to a gorilla.
And then I think they had other tapes of him saying guerrilla warfare.
Robert Lee
stuff.
is the worst though, because Robert Lee was an
Poor
Asian
Chinaman. Have you
Yeah.
ever seen that Chinaman since? You've never seen him since.
No, I don't
mean,
think so.
He got called off a game just because his name was Robert Lee, and he's
Yeah.
an
And he was
Asian or a
calling like the
Chinaman.
Virginia Cavaliers football game or something that weekend. They're like, oh, tensions are too hot with these statues being ripped down and stuff. We can't have the Chinaman Robert Lee out here.
It'll be triggering.
Oh my god, it's so funny. So yeah, so this guy, he says he's suing the mayor, Lovely Warren. Is her name? Sounds like a lovely woman. He says, because of her actions, my family and I have suffered greatly these past many months, and unfortunately, she has taken zero responsibility and has shown zero willingness to move towards a resolution. She left us with no other option. He's continued to insist the utterance was a simple mistake born of talking too fast. It's a simple mistake that everybody knows, and for someone that's just a shitty person, Lovely Warren. You're just a shitty person. If that's someone who is going around seeking out ways to be offended and to call it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're willing to call that out, he's white on TV, Martin Luther King Jr. Oh, no benefit of the doubt. He obviously did it on purpose. He's a racist. He wants to sabotage his career.
Yeah, she's
I
so
would love
sure
to-
of his intent that she's willing to do that to a guy.
That's awful,
You know-
man. Just awful.
That would love to talk to her, man. Like honestly, like wouldn't you love to have her on the phone or into your face?
You know what?
And really,
That's someone that is clearly so unreasonable that I don't know that I would.
I would. Only because
I mean, I would just because of the news story,
No, I
but-
know what you mean, but I would love to have her face to face and just hammer her about how, like, have you ever misspoken? Have you ever? I mean, you can see where this could be a mistake. You can see this,
no,
right?
she's a sanctimonious bitch.
And
Yeah.
she's gonna say,
Gotcha.
I'm gonna say you
Gotcha,
believe that guy's
Weatherman.
racist, like 100% on this. You think that guy is racist?
Enough to ruin the dude.
Yeah.
And
Right. Not even
Career,
that's a
family,
good point too.
career.
Like, not,
let's say he doesn't even get fired. Let's just say she brings everyone's attention to it. Well, then you have half the population questioning, like, "Oh, isn't that the racist guy?"
Yeah.
No, he just fucking misspoke.
And don't you think it'd be fair to say when she brings that allegation 2 days later, gets in front of a microphone at a podium and goes, it's utterly disgusting what this guy said and unacceptable. He needs to be fired. Don't you think anyone in her camp, her family, her world would go, hey, Lovely, is it possible? I mean, is it possible to see it from the other side and go,
Yeah. We give him a little grace here.
We've seen people like flub lines. None of us speaks perfectly. You fucked up lines at podiums before. I mean, like,
Well, didn't
really?
the station say they did an investigation? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Right? You asked him for his comment. He denied it.
Yeah. Have you run around and ask interns and fucking
You ever heard him
stage
say-
hands?
Is
You
he
ever
suing
heard
the
say coon
station
before?
too? He's probably suing the station too, right?
Probably. He's got a good case, right?
Well, I mean, he's clearly just caught. It's going to be he has a contract, so he's not an at-will guy, very likely, right? A weatherman.
A weatherman,
People like that would have contracts?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know how big a station it is in Rochester, New York, but probably.
Okay.
You know, I didn't have a contract, so to speak. And
Well, if he doesn't, he's fucked. They can just let him go. But if
Yeah,
he has a
but
contract, at least they need just cause, probably, and whatever that means under the contract is what controls.
well, he's going after her because
Oh, he's going after the mayor, but I'm
He's going
talking
after
about
the
from
mayor.
the employment standpoint.
right.
Is he suing the
I don't
station
think,
too?
I don't think it said he was suing
Oh,
the station.
forget
The
what I
only
said
one
then.
I saw was that he was suing her.
Okay.
You know, kind of a defamation of character. You've ruined my reputation. My good name has been torched because of you going out publicly and calling me out for a clear mistake. It was a mistake. We all make them. But I would be shocked though if he wasn't suing the station. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's why not. It's like, you were an at-will employee. Doesn't matter. So, because of her actions, my family and I have suffered greatly these past many months. And unfortunately, she has taken zero responsibility and shown no willingness to move towards a resolution. She left us with no other option. So, you know, yeah, I don't know. So anyway, it's just tough when you see these shitty people running around the world. It's like, you know,
Yeah, and he's
I hope
not-
you're happy.
Yeah.
You know, I hope you're happy. You know, like I would feel awful if, you know, I'm sitting here and I'm like, you know what? One day you think back and you're like, God, you know what? How sure was I?
Right. Was that fair?
That this was just malicious. There was intent there
Right.
to offend and discriminate and be racist. How fucking sure am I?
Versus me just trying to get woke points.
Right. And in fact, what is the collateral damage? He probably has a wife and a kid. They've established a life here in Rochester, New York. He's working his way up at the TV station, and it collapses.
Kind of hard to get another weatherman job if you've been deemed a racist.
I don't even think you could get a sportsman gig
Yeah.
at that point. You know, because that story was so egregious and so obviously people in the country went, oh, come on, that it becomes a national story. You bing that guy's name, you don't get all his awards and accolades for being a dynamite weatherman.
I mean, dynamite. He saw the low pressure zones coming in.
Oh, he did, always. And you know what? His stuff, when he drew it on the fucking thing, didn't look like dicks.
No.
The clouds didn't look like floating dicks when a tornado was going to hit land. You know, he was careful about that.
Kept that little clicker thing down in the palm of his hand
Never
so it's not
saw
so
it.
noticeable.
Go ahead.
You see, some people fidget with that.
I know.
A lot of people fidget
Yeah.
with that big clicker.
Yeah, amateurs
it's
do.
distracting. It's really
Amateurs.
distracting.
That pro.
He's got it in his hand. Just click to the next scene.
You never
Click
even
to
see
the
it. You don't
next.
even see it in his hand, Jay. He's one of those. Guy's a master with that thing.
You'd never know he's not standing in front of that real screen.
And if he cuts in to your watching a sports game to with breaking weather news, you
does
better
it gently.
believe it's serious.
He does it gently.
He's not just willy-nilly jumping in every chance he gets. He's like, guys, wait, hold on. Do we really need to interrupt Dancing with the Stars right now? Do we want to take Sweet Pie's fucking Dancing with the Stars from her and interrupt it for a good minute and a half? No, I don't think so.
What an hilarious situation. Doing the weather is this one thing where to do that they have this green
Yeah.
screen and they have to sit here and pretend and like look at learn how to know like we're pointing the right
Yeah.
way. But I'm just saying like it's just so funny like and
It is
nothing
funny.
else that we
it's
do.
a strange thing, yeah.
Like
We actually have a weather person who listens quite regularly.
Oh, do
I'm
we?
not going to say who it is.
Why?
But
What channel?
I'm not going to say. But some of those
I'm on a
weather people
tour.
are actual like meteorologists. Others are
Right.
just presenters, right?
Yes.
They're
Well,
just
yes.
presenters. of
Jeremy
weather.
Capple's a meteorologist, okay?
Okay.
He's a meteorologist. And he's not just one of those guys with a clicker that's faking it. He
Yeah.
got his degree in meteorologistness. Okay, so he knows what he's talking about.
Uh-huh.
When he's not just talking about fronts and, you know, whatever.
He knows what causes the high pressure.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
He knows rain is caused by clouds and warm weather hitting cold weather.
He can read the Doppler radar.
Absolutely he can. He's-
Doppler 7, the number's always just whatever the station is.
Yeah.
We have the highest number of Doppler.
There he is, you know, on his ass. Every time you bing Jeremy Capple, you get Martin Luther King Coon Jr. That's what you get. Not upstanding, Brilliant young meteorologist.
What you have to believe to think that he intentionally did that is just so outlandish and absurd.
Yeah.
It's just, sure, could it have been intentional? Sure, it could have.
Okay.
But what's the likelihood?
Here's an olive branch for lovely Warren. If Jeremy Capel just happened to be the meteorologist that said niggardly a couple years earlier, and there was the dust up,
Yeah.
then would you go, all right, man, you've already got the niggardly thing going. Now you're going to throw in Martin Luther King Jr.?
You think we should look at his old tweets, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't know. But then you'd go, okay. I can
Yeah, now
see
he's
what
sending little
she's-
jokes out there. He thinks he's a funny guy, yeah.
Thinks he's funny. He's being cute.
Right.
You know, when he says raccoon, he says raccoon. There's a pause there. We see it. It's subtle, but we see it, Jeremy. We see what you're trying to do.
Right.
Favorite chip, salt and vi. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Yeah. Bo Burnham did that in his special, and the crowd went, hey. It's brilliant.
Those are delicious, though, aren't they?
Salt and vi.
They gotta be my
Yeah,
favorites,
they're great.
honestly.
They're awesome.
Nowadays, I'd say those are top of the
Lay's?
list. No, Gab gets some certain kind with like avocado oil,
Fuck's
but they're
sakes.
delicious.
Oh, tell me they're at least those ones that are. What are the ones now that are thicker? And
Yeah, like kettle chips. or
kettle
something.
chips. Yeah. She gets fucking what?
They're delicious.
Avocado.
Yeah.
Will you bring some in? I want to taste one of
You
those.
really would like them.
You think
honestly.
so?
Yeah, they're not like dirt. It's not. Yeah, some of that shit. Obviously, when you try to make a good hamburger or whatever, it comes out
Yeah.
kind of shitty. But
What are those balls that she makes? Because I was like, there's no way I'm eating those. I'm not going to like those. You're like, dude. you
yeah,
will.
like a
And they're
protein thing or something.
delicious.
I don't remember what those
Oh, it's been forever since we had those, but they're so good.
were. Yeah.
I didn't want to get to email. Did we have a couple other things to mention before we get out of here?
Oh
Jay?
yeah. You know, a couple GoFundMe's
Yep.
that we ought to have on people's minds. Listener Kevin wrote in concerning his daughter Heather, who has a GoFundMe going, and this is for Heather Larive. Yeah, Larive. She has a fundraiser on GoFundMe. Check it out. This is interesting. She wants to preserve her eggs.
Really?
Yes.
Like farm fresh eggs?
Farm fresh, man.
Okay.
She has some ovary issues, some cysts on ovaries, and she's only 15 years old, and she's thinking forward. She's thinking about her family in the
15?
future.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and as she stated, she's like, I would never
Her eggs are that
think
special,
of this as like a 15-year-old, but I
No
want to
way.
have like biological children someday. And so I'm
Sure.
at this weird point where I have to think about harvesting eggs.
Wow.
So they're-
as a 15-year-old, that's awful.
Yeah, so they want to go through this this procedure where they stimulate egg production, and then harvest the eggs and keep them so that she can use her actual eggs in the future. So you can help out with that. Heather Larive, Larive, and then Isis, you have another one.
Oh, I don't know, Mike. I don't know much. Mike knows
Yeah,
more
yeah.
about it than I do.
No, and can we put these in the post today so if people
Sure.
want them, we can have links in there. Or you all know T. Roy. What up, T? What up, fam? His daughter, Chloe, has suffered with CRPS for many, many years. It's awful. It's awful to see. It's one of these like nerve things. Like she broke her foot at like 8 playing softball or something, and it started there. And it's just the pain is unbelievable, and it's nonstop, and it's gone to other extremities. She's been to Cleveland Clinic, the Boston, the big hospital in Boston, whatever that one is, multiple times. Another one in Chicago, just trying to get these rehabs, and nothing touches the pain, and it's horrible. The rehab she goes through and all that stuff, and so there's not many people have CRPS. It turns out that a few people are familiar with it, and we've tried hooking her up with some doctor friends that we have and make some headway, but not enough people have it, so that it's not researched as much as like cancers are and stuff like that. And so a lot of the treatments are in trial stages and stuff, and insurance won't cover it. And so there's a promising treatment out there, and it's that she wants to do, and I think it's like $4,000 or something, and she's raising money for this CRPS treatment, and we can put that on there. It's Chloe Courtney, and it's called complex regional pain syndrome. Since she was 9,
It's like fibromyalgia.
fibromyalgia. Is
Has
what
she
it's
tried a
like.
My
Yeah,
Pillow? Try a My Pillow.
I don't know if she's
Body
tried a-
pillow.
Look,
It's shaped like Mike Lindell.
yeah, I'll get her one. I don't know that that's going to work.
Well, she's not tried everything then.
Yes. She's got fibromyalgia or is it CRPS? Either way, try a My Pillow.
Absolutely.
We'll get her hooked up with a My Pillow. Maybe even a body pillow. How about a
It
dog
sounds
bed?
too exaggerated to the common person out there.
Let's get her some Bleed Stop. Post haste. I told
Do we
Dawn,
have it yet?
I said, Dawn, we
Send
need
us the Bleed Stop.
we need Blood Stop immediately. She starts laughing. She goes, Bleed Stop. I go, whatever. I need it now. It's the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's the Bleed Stop. CRPS can kiss my ass. I'm gonna raise money for
Look.
Chloe Courtney.
Seriously, put Chloe Courtney's GoFundMe on the back burner. Let's get her some Bleed Stop and a My Pillow and see what happens.
Just test it.
Yes, we haven't tried everything
Have
yet.
you tried harvesting her eggs with a My Pillow and some Bleed Stop? What do we have to lose at
Yeah,
this
fuck
point?
these GoFundMes.
We don't need GoFundMes. You need a My Pillow and some Bleed Stop.
There'll be no links at the bottom of the post.
Maybe a dog bed. Perhaps some Giza sheets would help. Definitely works with fibromyalgia.
Yeah, Kevin, what does Heather sleep on? She sleep on a My Pillow dog bed? No. Well,
you
oughta
haven't
try
tried
it.
everything yet.
Ought to try it, pal.
Hold on, before we start saving eggs all willy nilly, let's give a shot to the body pillow and some Giza sheets. You too, Chloe Courtney. CRPS can kiss my ass. Try a body pillow. It's a Bleed Stop. So we'll put those links in the post. But yeah, you can find it for Chloe at GoFundMe. CHLOE. Courtney is COURTNEY. Please help. She's raised over $3,000 already, so not much more to go, but every bit helps. And I know it's coming up to the holiday season. It's not easy for everybody to spend extra dollars, but some of you have been very generous, and it's always appreciated. We know we have a little bit of a platform here, and you guys never cease to amaze. So with that, why don't we call it a day, Jay?
Sure.
Sure. Isis, you good? We got one more to do.
Should I like to
Thank you.
apologize for anything you said today?
No, I don't think so.
Should.
Why? What did I say?
It's probably something. I don't know. I'm sure there was something.
Okay.
All right. Think about it.
Sure.
Come back and we'll circle back tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. We'll get out of here. See you, everybody. Have a good day.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.